Ladies and gentlemen, today we are here to do a news roundup, some brand new news, some news I need to catch up with because it has actually been, I think, around 2 weeks since I've made one of these. So as always, I want to stress there's always timestamps in these videos. If you want to skip around, if you want to float around that video bar and a certain chapter looks appealing to you, by all means, skip ahead. Now, the first story today is something that I've been meaning to talk about. And that is this clip from Giancarlo Esposito talking about maybe having a role in the future DCU.
Had been talking to James Gunn about the possibility about being in a movie. So who knows? It could happen soon.
Now, I find that super fascinating. I also want to mention that he said in another video at the same event that he would like to play a superhero over a villain this time round. Now, you know, sure you could say don't think too deep into this, but I think if he's kind of stating that he has been talking to James Gunn about being in a DCU movie, sure you could argue that's like any future project in the DCU. As we know, there's a whole bunch of them. There's at least like 21 plus in just the first chapter, and God knows how many in chapter 2. But given that we got the castings for Superman Legacy right before the actors SAG-AFTRA strike commenced, with Isabella Merced playing Hawkgirl, Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, like all dropping really quickly just so they could get in there and announce the deal right before the strike commenced, it made me think that if he's saying this at a convention that, oh, I've been talking to James Gunn about appearing in, you know, a future DCU movie. Well, that kind of does make me think that he could be in Superman Legacy over that of something else. Now, I don't really have anything to back that up other than right now, James Gunn's main attention, of course, is on Superman Legacy. I mean, sure, he's a custodian of a lot of things with the DCU, so, of course, feel free to speculate about other roles Giancarlo Esposito could play, because, I mean, this guy has been fan cast for so much, you know, whether that's Mr. Freeze in the Batman or in the DCU. Some people are now thinking, oh, well, if it is Superman Legacy, could he be Martian Manhunter? Is there going to be more heroes involved? And that is the question. Will there be more heroes involved? I haven't ruled it out because I think they just got a few castings out there right before the strike happened, but that doesn't mean in this living, breathing DC universe where heroes have existed and do exist that there's not going to be more kind of, you know, background characters. But the thing is, Giancarlo Esposito is not a background character, so maybe he will have more of a prominent role. Some people are saying, what if he's Perry White or, you know, someone else, in where, you know, that character would be expected to go on in the DCU, especially in Lois and Clark's lives, for quite a long time, especially despite what a lot of people think with these extra characters appearing in Superman Legacy. Lois and Clark are the main characters, and we will see quite a bit of his reporter life. So the thing is, I don't know about that casting, just because, I mean, he could be getting excited here by saying, well, he wants to play a superhero rather than a villain this time. So maybe it would be an older kind of DC hero character. And, you know, I wouldn't rule out any castings for those of you who will speculate down in the comments below, just because, you know, we do have a casting like Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. Some people are reacting in a certain way, being like, oh, that doesn't fit the character. He's kind of, you know, a bit too old to be playing the character. So maybe with that being said, apply that lens to maybe you could have a DC hero appearing in Superman Legacy in a similar vein to that, where Giancarlo Esposito might play an older version of insert character name here. That's the thing about Giancarlo Esposito. I think he has such a good range. He can play a lot of roles, and I know he has been typecast for villainous roles, but I do really think that he could bring a lot of conviction and especially experience to the role of a superhero, especially if he is playing an experienced superhero in the DCU. Maybe he's been doing the hero thing for quite a while. I don't know. Let me know your ideas down in the comments below. Let me know if you think this is for Superman Legacy, if he's already been talking to Gunn about a role in the DCU, or do you think that doesn't necessarily mean an immediate role? It could be something down the line. But let's now get into the next topic, and that is just what is going on with Aquaman. And I think I may roughly know, but I invite the conversation, as always, in this comment section. And that is because we're getting some Aquaman 2 promo, if you will, but not in the way that some Aquaman fans want. Now, I know a lot of you out there, I can just vibe it, that you're going to be like, oh, I don't care, man. Okay, but a lot of people still are wondering what is going on with the marketing. So the promo that we are getting is that there is some merch popping up out there, like as you're seeing on screen right now. Okay, but like, there's no trailer. Where's the trailer for Aquaman 2? You know, sure, there's that DC fandom special that I'm probably showing on screen right now, which a lot of people either didn't see or forgot about, so it's the only thing I have to use. But essentially, the fascinating thing about this is that it's being reported that the sequel now sets the DCEU record for the shortest window between the release of a film's first trailer and its theatrical release date. So I know we're not quite in December yet, but still, normally with DCEU movies, there would have been a teaser trailer. You guys know how it usually goes. There's like a teaser trailer, then there's official trailer 1, and then sometimes there's an official trailer 2, but with an optional final trailer after that. But alongside that, there's a bunch of TV promos. For Aquaman 2, there's been Sweet Feckle. And I think the bottom line reason for this is the fact that I don't know if they're expecting it to do amazingly well. That is based off of many things. Even though the previous Aquaman made north of $1 billion, every movie after that has not even broke 400 million outside of the Batman and Joker. So I think with Blue Beetle fans rallying about the Blue Beetle Battalion and trying to, get some marketing out there, because it seemed as though Warner Brothers just really wasn't, investing a lot of marketing into that movie. Black Adam had a big push, but this is what I mean. The same with The Flash. Those big pushes to make those movies work didn't really work. It burned them. Now, granted, Black Adam made $393 million in the box office. It still didn't make what they wanted it to make. The Flash, I don't even need to explain that one to you. It had a huge marketing budget and it didn't work. So I think with Aquaman 2 and the amount of reshoots it's got, and yes, before anyone says it, Boba reshoots is normal, but the amount of reshoots this movie has had, the kind of cut and pasting and collaging to make it work, from what I'm gathering, it just tells me that, they're gonna do marketing. They're gonna spend millions, don't get me wrong, but they're not going to burn themselves again, I think, by going absolutely ham, especially with what's been reported to be a less than healthy, in what I can gather, production for the movie and the adjustments that they've made. So Aquaman 2, the last DCEU movie, so to speak, of releases from the former regime and, what has been developed under that old tale. I don't know when we're going to get a promo. Now, speaking of Aquaman, I thought I'd chuck this in here before we move on to the next topic. We have Jeff Nichols speak with the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, and Variety have compiled all of this into a nice little article here, and where he explained why his pitch for Aquaman was never going to be the $1 billion movie Warner Brothers ended up getting, because he was in talks to do the first Aquaman. But as we know, James Gunn ended up making it, and it did very, very well with $1.1 billion. So this is the plot teases that he's giving us here. And let me know if you like it. I don't know. So I still have scenes from Aquaman in my head that would have been good. They would have been quite different from the film that was made. It wasn't ever feasible. I liked the older Aquaman, like when he had a harpoon for a hand. He was a fallen king and his son had died. He was in mourning. Obviously, from this brief pitch, you can see it would have sold hundreds of dollars worth of tickets. Obviously, that would have been quite a dramatic tone and vision for Momoa's Aquaman, but I have to admit, let me just say this, I don't hate it. I'm not saying they should have gone there, but I do feel like Momoa, on top of playing the Aquaman that he did in the movie, could have also have played like an Aquaman who was kind of a king, who has gotten to this downtrodden mode, if you will. It probably would have appealed to more of the dreary aspect of the former Snyder universe. As they describe it here, a fallen king, his son had died, he was in mourning, and I guess what would have gone on to happen, which he didn't explain here, is that he still had a second coming. He rose up despite all of that. In a similar way, I suppose you could say, to how Momoa's Aquaman was still the reluctant king, but then, came through by the end of the movie. That was a lot more of a, again, he was reluctant, but it wouldn't have been as dark as this. So let me know what you think about that Aquaman pitch, and how you would have felt if that was the movie that came to fruition. Now, how is Blue Beetle doing? It's been out for a little while now, and there's been a lot of talk about would it kind of get what it needs. Now, what we do know is that it's hit over $100 million in the worldwide box office. Some even saying that it's just got over 110 million, but I tried to look that up a bit more and I couldn't really see so much about that. So that's just over $100 million on a what is around $104 million to $120 million production budget, where we still don't really know how much was put into marketing. And as a result, like, a lot of people thought, when you pair that into what the theaters take with regards to ticket prices, which isn't always the same, like in the first week studios take a lot more of the price, but the spectrum kind of slides on a scale as weeks unfold, with the theaters getting a little bit more. But all I'm saying is not 100% of the box office ticket sale goes to Warner Brothers. You could tell that they would have needed well over $200 million to make profit on Blue Beetle. So as a result, guys, what's happening right now, as with a lot of movies, and I wish this was never really normalized, Blue Beetle is currently set to open for digital purchase on September 19th, which is, you know, roughly a month, give or take, after its theatrical release. So similar to The Flash there, similar to Black Adam, Warner Brothers is trying to get some more money if they can, put anything back into the profits. The way I look at it, when you have such early digital releases like this, is, you know, if you like squeeze a lemon and you've got all the juice out of it and it's like there's only drips coming out of it, they're still going to collect those, because when movies don't perform that good, they're going to want to try and tempt you to spend more money in other ways. Maybe you didn't go see it in the movies. Hey, maybe you'll rent it in the comfort of your own home and they'll collect some money in there. And to be fair, like, Black Adam did get quite a bit of money back for doing that. So let me know if you didn't see it in the movies, but you are considering renting it when it releases on digital September 19th. Now, lastly for this video, guys, we've got a bit more kind of industry drama, I guess you could say. And this is just, you know, really not looking good. The more time goes on, you would hope that with the SAG-AFTRA strike, the writer's strike, things would just get better, like, eventually. Yeah, but, and I'm not trying to sound naive there, but, like, the longer it goes on, you would hopefully hear that, oh, yeah, wait, they are going to get back into negotiations nicely. Not the opposite of that, not getting past the first meeting before the actual negotiating meetings. And now you have headlines from Deadline like this: Warner Brothers Television suspends top overall deals with Greg Berlanti, Bill Lawrence, Mindy Kaling, and more. So it says in the updated part here, more than 3 months into the writer's strike, Warner Brothers Television has moved in to suspend the remaining overall deals with some of its top creators. I hear the calls were made last night. J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot also is in the process of being notified, sources said. I mean, to be fair, J.J., like, you were tasked with all these things. Like, I just need to mention this because some of you are aware, like, he was meant to make, like, Justice League Dark projects, like, years ago. This was, like, over the past couple of years. Nothing really came out of anything he did. There was meant to be a Constantine thing, a Madame X, other things, Demimonde, which, to be fair, Warner Brothers refused. They made, like, a massive $100+ million deal for him to produce and make things, and nothing. I don't know what they're going to do about that, but nothing came out of that. So I guess what they are doing is like, hey, man, like, yeah, we're dropping our overall deal with you. They go on to say it is understood that at the time, Warner Brothers TV did not suspend some of its top talent, especially those who had active projects. That is happening now. Now, I think probably a lot of people are going to panic. Does this mean that, oh my God, is Matt Reeves going to be, you know, terminated, like what he's got going on? I really don't see that happening, especially as he has an overall film deal with Warner Brothers as well. I think it might be one of those ones where they can't necessarily terminate it unless they want to do something as extreme as it says here. Unlike the 2007-8 WGA strike, there have not yet been overall deal terminations, force majeure yet, with studios opting to stick with suspensions where they don't have to pay for the duration of the work stoppage. Some of the reasons lie in the fact that studios had already pared down their rosters in the past year or so. So things should be fine with, like, Matt Reeves maybe, but, like, there's certainly a lot of other things going on right now with the studios. And also, we have Warner Brothers Discovery saying that they will take a hit of $300 million to $500 $500 million to their 2023 earnings because they refused to make a fair deal with actors and writers. This is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. And I just kind of wrote a tweet here saying, well, you know, the dudes could have just committed to giving them a fair deal, which would mean $47 million annually out of their $43.1 billion annual revenue, which is 0.108% of their profits annually. And it's a very similar story, as you can probably see from the image on screen, for all of the other big streamers and studios. But, you know, there's a lot more than just pay being asked for here with these strikes. There's, you know, AI protection and a bunch of other working things. So the story continues with this, but I'll try and keep you up to date with any major updates there. But that is everything I wanted to get into in today's video, guys. Let me know what you think of every topic that we discussed. And if you enjoyed this video as well, would really appreciate a like. Consider subscribing for more news updates like this. And also when we get some significant news, I hope to be bringing that. But right now, we're in a bit of a dry period, so I hope you enjoyed this video regardless. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.